Alright, welcome back, and if this is the first video you're viewing from my channel, welcome. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about the VLOOKUP function for beginners. So just the very basic use of the VLOOKUP, how it works and what it really does. So the VLOOKUP function, the first thing you need to know is the V stands for vertical. So just keep that in mind. You might have heard of functions like HLOOKUP or possibly XLOOKUP, but just know that VLOOKUP stands for vertical. So if you're trying to search something in a column, you're going to want to use VLOOKUP. And so basically what VLOOKUP does is it will search a specific input that you can type or reference, and it will then display a value in the same column that you determine. So for example, you could use the VLOOKUP function to search Phil or the employee name. And say you wanted to search Phil and you wanted to display his salary, which would be $60,000. The VLOOKUP function can do that for you. So let's just go through an example here. So let's say we want to search by employee. So we'll put the employee name in this cell here, and we'll say we want to know Rob, what Rob's salary is. So then we could put salary here, and then instead of manually just typing that in or referencing 60,000, we can use the VLOOKUP function. So you can kind of see how the VLOOKUP function would be very useful with large sets of data that you don't want to have to scroll through or manually search through to find the answer. So the VLOOKUP function is very useful for, if you're integrating that formula into a dashboard that you might have referencing this sheet. But the way the VLOOKUP function works is we're going to hit equal, and then we're going to type in VL and then VLOOKUP. If we tab, it'll select that formula for us. And so then here it'll tell you exactly what you need to do for the VLOOKUP function. So first, it's asking for the lookup value, which would be Rob in this case. So instead of typing Rob, we can select that cell or reference that cell, which is H2. And then we're going to want to do a comma, and it's going to ask us for the table array, which is essentially asking for the entire set of data that is relevant to this lookup function. So we basically need column B and column E in order to find the salary, but we're just going to select columns B through E just to make it easy. And then we'll hit comma, the column index number. So what that's asking is what you want to be displayed. So for example, right now what this formula is going to do is it's going to take the first column that we selected in this range from columns B through E. It's going to take that first column and it's going to search for H2, which is Rob. So it's going to search for Rob. And now it's asking us what we want to display once it finds Rob. So we want it to display the salary, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4, which should be the fourth column in the data range that we selected. So we would then type 4, comma, and it's going to want an approximate match or an exact match. And generally with the VLOOKUP function, you're going to want to select false, and then we just close the parenthesis there. And then once we hit enter, so then it'll display the 60,000. It won't have the same formatting, but we can fix that real quick just like that. So say we want to search a different employee, let's say John. The VLOOKUP will then automatically update the accurate salary according to what we input here. Alright, so let's say instead of the salary, we want to know the hire date. And so then what we can do is do another VLOOKUP function. Our lookup value is going to be John. The table array can just be B to E. And then our column index that we want to display would be 1, 2, 3, which would be the hire date in column D. So we'll just put 3 there and then select false. And then we'll go ahead and hit enter. It will then display John's hire date, which is 5/3/19. Just make sure that this cell is in the correct format, right? Because if you had a general format, it's just going to display this number. So make sure that that's in short date or long date or whatever you want it to be in. So then you can kind of see how that would be super useful with large sets of data. Specifically, if you're creating a dashboard and you want to see stats quick and you don't want to have to manually search things. So the VLOOKUP function is very valuable to know if you're using Excel on a daily basis. So hopefully that helps. If you have questions or if anything wasn't super clear, please leave it in the comments below and I'll try to address it the best I can. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Before you go, please smash the like button and don't forget to subscribe for more Excel content, tips and tricks, things like that. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.